How to master copywriting. Now, the thing is that when you're mastering copywriting, do understand that copywriting is easy to learn but difficult to master. So what do I mean by that? It is quite easy to simply write down some words, do some research, and put your piece out, right? You've done your first copywriting piece. The reason it is difficult to master is that there are many things you can learn, and one has to think about how much time is spent working and also having to understand certain industries and certain ways to write copy. You wouldn't have time to master them all. So for example, in copywriting, you can use it for emails, social media posts, blogs, written content, video sales letters, landing pages, and things like that. And so that's what I mean by it is difficult to master, because there are so many directions to go, and there's so many industries you can go in, like digital marketing, coaching, sales, insurance. Like copywriting could be used for multiple industries as well, not just platforms. And the more famous platforms, you probably see things like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. So copywriting can be utilized in those areas. Now, the thing you want to avoid that I made myself, including I've seen many other copywriting students when I was learning from the Unlock, is that don't think that you really learn something just going over it once or twice. Chances are you're going to have to go over it multiple times. Like let's say, for example, if you were learning the proper ways of how to do research in terms of what questions to ask the client, things like that. Well, you're going to have to go over it multiple times to make sure that you really understand what it means, because the first time you're only probably going to get around 30% understanding of what it means, and you're going to come with a certain conception of what those things are. Now, of course, the second time you're going to come back with a different but probably deeper understanding of what those things are. For example, asking, why the client should, do they have testimonials that they can use, right? That's not something most people think about, is that you can use certain information from testimonials, use those words and put it into some form of copy. And so that's something that most copywriters don't know about. Of course, you probably wouldn't memorize that the first time, because there's so many things, certain ways you can effectively do research for copywriting before you even think about even creating the copy itself. And I tend to see, including myself, is do shiny ball syndrome, right? Going after another course. Well, when things get a little bit difficult, people have a tendency to go to the next new thing. Maybe they get bored, but boredom is part of mastery, right? There are going to be periods in which you don't feel like doing it. So you're going to have to figure out why you're doing it and clarify your why. And do understand that there are going to be periods when you want to learn, you want to keep deepening your knowledge, and there'll be periods when you're not going to feel like it. I know, for example, my martial arts journey, that which is another hobby I have, is that there were times when I felt like doing it, and there were times I didn't want to feel like doing it, but I had to keep doing it so that I would improve in that ability. I did not get to the skills I have now just by doing the next new thing. So that's something to consider. Post in the comments down below, what do you think about mastery in copywriting? What do you think mastery of copywriting looks like to you? Let me know in the comments down below. And another thing you want to avoid is shiny ball syndrome. So I probably talked about this before, where things can get a little bit difficult, or perhaps you don't feel like doing it, and you'll try to maybe I'll go into another field, maybe I'll take another course, that will give me the results I want. And so by doing so, you are giving up the thing you passed, and you may repeat that same behavior with the other thing. Maybe. But the thing is that you need to be diligent with your action and not so much jumping around to the next thing all the time unless it really makes sense to do so. It's not just because things got difficult or you don't feel like it. They cannot be a reason to do so. Okay, so if you have any questions about mastery or, again, shiny ball syndrome, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and notification button down below if you haven't done so already. I'll see you next time.